Hello my friends, it's Danny, and today I'm going to show you how to make very light and fluffy vegan pancakes. And for those of you who are not vegan, make sure you stick around anyway, because I could have just as easily titled this video how to make really good pancakes that happen to be vegan. That was a big bite. Now, the secret to making pancakes super light and fluffy without any milk, eggs, or butter is your baking powder. And you gotta use a whole bunch of it. I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. But before we get started, if you have not already, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button, because that's gonna make you a part of the clean and delicious inner circle. Meaning, whenever I post new content, you will be the first to be notified. And the benefit of that is whenever something new goes up, I usually spend a couple hours in the comment section. So that gives you a great opportunity to have your questions answered, and it gives me a great opportunity to connect with you. So if you haven't done that already, take a minute and do it. So I have a nice big bowl for my pancakes, and I'm starting with 1 cup of white whole wheat flour. Now, white whole wheat flour has all the same health benefits as regular whole wheat flour, but it's much lighter in texture and color and flavor, so it works out perfectly when you're making pancakes. And for those of you who need this recipe to be gluten-free, just hang on a few minutes. I'm going to address that in just a minute. There's a way to do it. Then I'm gonna add just a pinch of salt and then 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And yes, this is more baking powder than you would normally see in a pancake recipe, but that's going to be the secret ingredient, because that baking powder is gonna release its gases once we add the liquid, and that's what's gonna add the air and keep these pancakes nice and light and fluffy. So I'm gonna gently mix these ingredients together, and then we're ready for our liquids. I've got 1 cup of unsweetened vanilla almond milk. You could use any type of milk that works for you here. 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, just adds a little extra sweetness. And then a tablespoon of melted coconut oil. Again, I'm just gonna get in there and give this a good stir. You just wanna stir until all the ingredients have come together. You wanna be careful not to over stir it, because we don't want to beat the air out of the pancakes, right? So once you've got it together, just let it sit. Just let it rest on the counter for 2, 3, 4 minutes. What you're gonna see is that baking powder is gonna start to activate, and it's gonna form little bubbles, and the mixture is really just gonna look really light and fluffy, like you can see here. And that's how you know you're ready to get to the stove and start whipping up your pancakes. So what I've got here is a nice big non-stick skillet. I'm gonna heat that up over a medium heat. Then once the pan is heated, I'm just gonna give it a nice light coat of coconut oil here. Do remember, if you're using a non-stick pan like I am here, you never wanna use cooking sprays on your non-stick pan, because it will ruin the finish and they will not be non-stick for long, and you're just not gonna get any life out of your pan. So you'll just wanna coat it like I am, with a little bit of coconut oil or some type of vegan spread, or if you're not a vegan, you could certainly use butter. Then what I like to do is I like to make small pancakes. I usually get about 10 silver dollar pancakes out of the mixture. I take a 1/4 cup scoop, get my batter, and then I drop about half of that into the pan and repeat. Now I'm using a 12-inch skillet, and I get 4 pancakes in the pan. You don't want to overcrowd them. So just depending on the size you like your pancakes, you just want to give them enough room in the pan so they don't spread into each other. You're gonna notice that they're gonna start to fluff up as soon as they start cooking, because these are light and fluffy pancakes. And then the sides are gonna set up, and you may notice some bubbles over the top of your pancake. It'll just take a couple of minutes. That's how you know your pancakes are ready to flip. So get underneath and flip them over. You want to see this beautiful golden brown color like I have here. And then you're just gonna let that go for another minute or 2, or until the pancake is golden brown on both sides, and then it's set up and cooked through the center. Then I just like to take them out of the pan, and you can see how nice and light and fluffy they are. And I'm gonna repeat until I've used all the batter. Now, for those of you who want to make this recipe gluten-free, I tried a few different options, right? So first I did oat flour. That was a 1-to-1 swap. I did find the oat flour did not get light and fluffy. So while you could do it, I don't really recommend it. The pancakes ended up being like a really, really thin, almost like a crepe. The second thing I did is I tried swapping in a gluten-free flour mixture. So these are just pre-made bags of gluten-free mixtures that you can swap out 1 for 1 whenever you're working with wheat flours. Sometimes they tend to be a little bit gummier than flour, but they definitely get the job done. And for a recipe like this, the pancakes, they did work just fine. So if that's something you're interested in, I will leave a link down below. The one that I used was the Bob's Red Mill. And then my third attempt that I tried to make it gluten-free was with spelt flour. And this one happened to be my favorite. It has the same sweet flavor like a regular whole wheat flour does, and you get that same golden brown color, but you don't have any gluten involved. So again, I'll leave a link down in the description box for that as well. That also was Bob's Red Mill. So from here, guys, it's the fun part. You get to top your pancakes with whatever pancake toppings you like. You have so many options. And then what would pancakes be without a drizzle of maple syrup right over the top? I personally love this recipe. They are so light, so fluffy, and I'm telling you, if you were blindfolded, you would not even know that it did not have eggs or butter or milk in the recipe. They are that good. So you must give this recipe a try, and when you do, snap a picture and tag me at Danny Spees or at Clean and Delicious so I can see all of the clean and deliciousness you're whipping up in your very own kitchens. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you back here next time with some more clean and deliciousness. Cheers! How to make really good pancakes that just so happen to be vegan. Wait a second. No butter, no flour, and no milk, and you're calling this a pancake? And this is supposed to taste good? I never understand these YouTubers. Well, you know what? I know you all understand, and I promise you, these pancakes are delicious.